Okay, and welcome to the newly refined office space upstairs where there's actual like air and things. We're in linear, got the head cam on. Welcome to number 10 of the review series where I go over my old reviews, 4 years old, and we talk about those products and see if they're still worthwhile. If you'd like to support this channel, feel free to check out the links in the comments or description for Patreon and Subscribestar. And don't forget to check out Hi-Fi Guides, which a lot of you apparently have been, because there's a lot of people on Hi-Fi Guides. That wallpaper available in the description of this video. All wallpapers available to supporters, by the way. You can go search out the original artists. I'm doing this at the end, at the beginning of the end, because why not? So, I ended on the Havit 336. We haven't got to the Hex Gears Supernova yet. We'll get there. The SMSL Q5 Pro was the first like glimmer of hope for the soundbar killer because it was a small, pretty speaker amp with a digital input and a remote. I believe the Q5 was it. I'm pretty sure that's what that was. I'm looking at the video. What am I talking? Oh, yeah, it has a remote on top of it. And I was comparing it to the FX Audio D802, which I don't remember if that was, I think that might have been garbage, coming to think of it now. Oh, by the way, I allowed MTMs before you ask. They sound great. On the Ion Forge stands before you ask. Holy shit. My new babies. The Fostex T50RP Mark III. That is, wow, it's been 4 years. I feel like it's been a lifetime that I've been in love with the Fostex. So yeah, you can see they've got the Shure 1540 pads on them. And 180,000 views. This is a big one. Actually, this was a big one too, 121. So this thing, these things, I still have them. They're on the gallery outside. The birthplace of my fascination with Fostex. Because we had the T50RPs, the T40s, the T60s, the T40s, 50s, T20s. I don't know why they missed like T30s. It is a weird thing with their like numbering scheme. But those were great. In fact, with the pad change, they were good. Real hard to drive. In fact, I'm not even sure if I ever powered them properly during that video. Did I have an amp? Did I have the... Oh God, stop moving your head around, you psychopath. What the hell's going on? Yes, are the Fostex T50RPs still worthwhile? Yes. Would I rather see them organized? Yes. So, I mean, that's the end of it. Let's move on. The FiiO K1 and K5. Now, the K1, the little tiny thing, I don't think that's relevant anymore, but the K5 has gone through multiple revisions. And the newest one that they have, which I think is just called the K5 Pro, which 4 years later they brought it out, is balanced and has 3 gain modes, and it does have a built-in DAC. Here's the thing. The FiiO units like this, the big ones, the desktop ones, sort of fade into my memory. Like I know that they're like BTR5 is amazing. Their portable players are amazing. Their IMs are amazing. But as soon as they make something that's a desktop unit, I just sort of like ignore it. Because as much as it wants to compete, it literally can't. There's too much competition with Geshelli Labs and JDS Labs and Schiit and SMSL and Topping. It's just so FiiO would have to come out with some sort of like $2,000 desktop box to really grab my attention and say, hey, look, we're not just throwing something in there just to sort of compete. I guess the FiiO E10K and then K3 would be like more like, I'm more happy in there. Wow, is that freaking out? And I'm watching it in the video. It's exploding and expanding. Just probably the compression algorithm. So FiiO products, yes. Did the desktop units work? Yes. I hardly ever recommend them because they're never nice enough, both sounding and looking, to just like drag it out. By the way, I have no timer going at all. So we'll see how far we get. The Shure 840s, M50X, wish they were here, are still recommended at this moment. They're $200. I think they're still $200. They were a monitoring headphone, but an actual like decent one. And I know I talk about the Shure 1540s and how much I hated them. The 840s, which are the lesser model, sounded better to me. They were more enjoyable and yet still neutral and flat. And they also had a blue and red dots on the actual headphone. So, I mean, can you ask? They also had the 440s, which I never tried. They were $100. I kind of wish I did, but $200, 840s, great for work. And now in the $100 range, is things like the Sennheiser HD280 Pro new models, things like that. The SVS Prime Satellites was an interesting unit to review because I really had to test my own sense of, do I shill this for SVS or do I just come out and say these are not great? Because I came out and said these are not great because they were selling these Prime Satellites as rear channel speakers. And in that purpose, I guess they were okay. But they were selling me like a $250 set of speakers that when you just hooked them up like speakers like you'd have like on a desk, they were garbage. They had no low end. The tweeter was good, but it was too sharp. There was not the right balance for good sound. So, I mean, you could argue the fact that, well, you should have looked at them only as a rear channel speaker and not even tried them on their own. But a rear channel speaker doesn't have to be expensive or do something fancy unless it's doing dipole, bipole. It just has to be a good speaker that you can put behind you. And why not get a good speaker and then just put that behind you? What the fuck? So I felt like that was like a little bit of a rip. And those are the first thing SVS sent me. So I don't know how that was going to go, but we've gotten lots of subwoofers since then because I don't really fuck up subwoofers. I also didn't like the other. Actually, I'll probably get to them in a sec. AKG K612 Pro. These I have no knowledge of. I really don't. I don't remember anything. I know the 712 Pros. I love the 712 Pros. 612 Pro? I don't know. I'm having a complete blank mental breakdown. Hold on, I need to have a drink. And no, this is not actually filled with French ginger liqueur. If you watch my second channel, I do life hacks occasionally. And on the board I have, this is gonna be one of the life hacks, is just reuse like a heavy glass bottle for water. Because it's just nice to drink water out of a cold glass bottle. Plus your friends think you're just downing liqueurs all day long. It's great. The heavy glass holds the cold. There's reasons for it. The Sony MDR1A. I love those headphones. Did I do the MSR7s already? Because those were like, were those before or after the MSR7s? As far as my review date, I don't remember. All I know is, I can tell you this, Sony portables, lightweight, closed back portables, I love them all. They're all very, very tasty. They have flavors. They're all a lot of low end, very smooth, very comfortable. None of them suck. Like there's never been a Sony closed back on-ear that I've just been like, oh God, like there's been some that are a little bit too expensive. But anything from the 7506 to the 900 ST, like even though that's specifically for something else, I've never hated a Sony closeback, portable. I've never hated them. So yes, I approve highly of whatever it is. Sony, whatever, closeback, done. The zero reviews of the M Audio Studio File Q40. It's only these 11-minute video, 10-minute video. Wow, I was so lazy back then with these fucking 10-minute videos. How did I even rant and rave? I must be losing my mind slowly as I go on in the years. I don't remember these at all, but there's Chewbacca at the start of this video. So if you want to look at Chewbacca 4 years ago, feel free to look this up. I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't remember anything about I've never probably recommended them since I did that review. I just did it and I moved on. Now, here's something I have recommended, the Meze 99 Classics. Now, these have gone through a few revisions. I know that Drop has one. In fact, I'll link to the Drop one, which is called the Neo. Meze 99 Neo? Is that what it is? No. Anyway, it's the same revision of the ones that flip around, close back. There's a lot of on-back. Close back, smooth, kind of like the Sonys, but a little bit more refined. These are gaudy as shit. The new ones actually look good. So I'd be okay completely recommending those. Do I have my set or did I sell my set? I might have sold my set. So it's been a while. I think we had them at RMAF? Noirs? Are they the Noirs? Maybe they're the Meze 99 Noir. That's the one that they had at have a drop. Okay, I'm not crazy. Sennheiser HD518. No. I think it was a maybe when I did it, or it was like a yes when I did it, but basically the 500 series of Sennheiser works only when you look at it all by itself. If you look at it as an encapsulated series from the 518 to the 569 to the 579, 99, 98 special editions. If you don't look outside of that series, you can pick the best headphone in that series. And now if you got to go back and look at the 560S, then the 560S would be the best headphone in that series, even though I hate it on most things. So it's weird. The 500 series is weird. Everyone loves the comfort. People like the build, the look. My brother even had a set of the 598s. And it's like, yeah, but there are better headphones. Or there's more unique headphones. Let's put it that way. So now moving on to the Jamo C601 mini speakers. And you know what? I should bring them up here to this room, except these are here and now. I bought those C601 mini speakers, these little ones with the phase plug in them. I bought those when I had the SVS Prime Satellites, because I'm like, all right, how much are the SVS Prime Satellites? $200, I think $220. I bought these on Amazon, and they were like the last pair on earth for like $220. And I compared the two. And those Jamos are a fucking fundamentally amazing speaker. In fact, that was my start of my Jamo obsession, other than the stuff my father had as we were kids. He had a couple of Jamo things. And that pair of speakers looked amazing. Phase plug, tweeter on the bottom, produce low end. It did all the things that the SVS one didn't do for the same price. And when you put it as a rear channel, it sounded just as good or better. Water. And that sort of led to my obsession with the Edema Watsons and then the C103s. And it's like, I don't have enough rooms in this house. I need to go and buy an old hotel that has like 35 rooms, and then every room could have like a theme. Like this is the Jamo room, and I could have 3 or 4 Jamo setups all hooked up to Locks G830s, and just walk in there like, I want to hear this today, without actually doing any like hookup work. Just play. And that'd be fantastic, because I have those in the basement. Those used to be on the headphone wall. Those were on the very top of the headphone wall with Hakujuji and Shinobu standing on top of them. So they were like the crowning jewels of the headphone wall. And I really should use them, because an unused speaker is the saddest fucking thing. I'll never sell them. Never sell them! But I want to use them. Headphone detachable cable mod. Oh, there they are, the SCA 1000s. I have those in the gallery, and I did the cable mod on them, and it worked. And this video is 24. How did I do a video for 24 minutes making them a moddable cable? Did I edit? I don't remember. I promised, for those people who are not aware, I've made this promise on Twitch. I think I made it in a couple of videos. Now that I've had the house, now that I'm settled down, now that I'm starting to like move like my office up to an actual office space, and I'm getting things out of the basement, I'm going to have a dedicated area for reviews and dedicated area for speaker testing. I should probably think about doing that. I was going to do a live stream, and I wasn't sure if I was going to do it on Twitch or YouTube, where I do a 20, like as long as it takes to modify like 6 headphones. Like I have these 6 headphones. I want to do detachable cable mods or balance mods or some other internal things. So I'm just going to line them up on a table with my soldering irons and tools and just go. And just try to interact with the chat, and just get everything done. And if it breaks, it breaks. And if I can't take it, I'll just stab the soldering iron in my eye and be done with it. So look for that. And also keep an eye on my channel on Christmas morning. There'll be a special gift for anyone who's subscribed to me. Come Christmas morning, if you're with your families or not, there might be, well, I'm not going to spoil it, but let's say the ugly cat's got nothing on me. C103 mini speaker sound demo. This is when I started detaching the sound demos from the videos, because A, doubles the views, 12,000 views on that. And also, if I get a copyright strike, it only happens on the sound demo, not the review. That's one of the reasons I have 2 videos, because I don't give a fuck if I don't profit from the sound demo. That's for you guys to hear it. I care if I can get the video viewed. Sound demo, 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 sound demo. Jesus, all the sound demos in a row. I don't remember why it did this, if that's just a YouTube freak out. Oh my God. The speakers section walkthrough in Yodobashi camera in Japan. Sure, 4 years ago, I went to Japan in 2015, February 2015. So it's been 5 years. So I don't know why it took me a year to upload that video clip, but there's a 3-minute video clip of me just walking around filming, and you could see there's the Studio 580s, but in cherry. They have the cherry outline. God, why don't we get good fucking finishes, JBL, you bastards? But yeah, no, Japan is wild. If you want speakers, like I don't even understand. I guess they're just more like, I would kill for that sort of selection at any store here in America. Kill. You need I would gladly run the Yodobashi camera in America. Hey Yodobashi, if you're paying attention for some reason to this video, I'll hook me up. I got a warehouse right here. We're just gonna set it up right in my living room. We're just gonna have all the speakers lined up. The Audio-Technica ATH8010X. So now when I moved to the apartment, I bought the 2000X and I fucking loved it. Actually, I have 15 minutes on the clock. I got a timer and everything. I love the 2000X. I really did. And I think I had heard the 500X and then I went straight to the 2000X. So over the course of the next 4 years, I think I've heard them all. So I got the 2000 and then the 1000. These are the 1000s, also made in Japan, also attached cable, also could use a pad swap, also a little bit bassier than the 2000X. Maybe you lose a little bit of that like crystalline high, because at that point you're just buying the exact same headphone essentially with just different drivers, different levels of refinement of the driver. And the 1000Xs, honestly, for most people would probably be the ones they'd pick over the 2000s. The 2000s, once you swap the pads and everything, get that low end back. But those were just a more well-rounded headphone sounding than the 2000Xs. I obviously kept the 2000Xs. I think those were bought by someone who sent them to me. They arrived broken. So I bought another set, and then I returned the set and said, wait, this is not the set that I got. Well, give me a set, and then I had the set. But then the review got done, and then no one cared. So he got a brand new set, doesn't matter. They needed to fix a few comfort things, like the things swiveled, but they didn't angle. So you have to like bend the titanium things to adjust this angle. It was, God, I gotta put my, you know what? I have the Magnus Madius stack. If that review's not out public yet, it's on my desk here officially. So, I mean, I should go get the 2000Xs and hook them up to that balanced. Probably sound fucking amazing. SMSL M3. I think people I know still own this and run it, because it was like the most basic $100 or sub $100 DAC amp combo that anyone could use. And it wasn't super powerful. It was very clean and neat and had RCA outputs. And that was like the first of that generation. I'm trying to think of another combo that was just as clean and nice as that thing. Dying. It 1/4-inch output. It looked professional. Had a button. Everybody. A fucking button. Had 9 LEDs and a grid. It was great. Ooh. Okay. Sennheiser HD800. What do I think about the Sennheiser HD800? Well, I guess the best way to describe it is it varies. Because the HD800, for me, is a headphone that needs an amplifier to make it work tolerably. The original HD800, not the 800S. The HD800 was like, oh, this is what everyone loves? Everyone loves this. Everyone apparently fucking loves this. How do I feel about it? I'm trying to shuffle forward and I can't. I'm hitting the desk. You know what? Fuck it. Fuck the HD800. The original HD800s are garbage. Throw them in a landfill. In fact, the guy who sent me that sent me this too, the Woo Audio WA-22, which is like a $2,000 tube amp. And it was tolerable. Again, the tolerance was there, but it was a $2,000 tube amp. All right? You shouldn't need a $2,000 tube amp to enjoy your $2,000 headphones. Or I think they were $1,500 at the time. The point is, I love that tube amp. Now, since we're off the HD800s, we'll talk about it more on the HD800S. But the Woo Audio WA-22 was one of those tube amps that was like, obviously fixed the HD800 because it was really sensitive. But most other headphones, I couldn't tell this was a tube amp versus a solid state. I don't know if that was just lack of practice from having like tubes that sort of high end. But the point of a tube is you should fuck shit up. In fact, I'm going to bring the Tor Roger up here. Yeah, because that's using balance. I could use the unbalanced output of the Madius into the Tor Roger and put the Tor Roger somewhere on this desk. Yeah, the tubes are supposed to fuck up the sound. So it doesn't sound like a solid state because, well, what's the fucking point? It's it's like making a three-wheeled car that drives exactly as good as a four-wheeled car. Why? Why'd you do that? Just buy a four-wheel car at that point. Why would you go out of your way to fucking design and engineer one that drives exactly the same? Make it drive wonky and funny and skid out. Do something. The whole point of a tube amp is not solid state. The way it changes the sound is why you get into it. And that one didn't change the sound enough. I'm sure tube swapping, although there was 5 tubes on that, would be expensive as shit, but it would have probably helped out a great deal. And now we move on to the SMSL Panda stack, which my brother currently has, because I couldn't bring myself in the slightest to sell it. Because it was just, we all agree, we all want the Panda stack back. SMSL brought out that stack with the linear power supply and the amplifier and the DAC. And it was, the only problem it had was the digital buttons. So the volume was a little bit like no one likes digital volume buttons. But when you turned on and off the linear power supply, it would like instruct the other units. The other units were all constructed in a way that they would click on in series and sequence, and you'd hear clicking and all the lights would blink, and then it would come on fully, and I was like, ah! Guys love that. I don't know if women love that. If there's any women watching this, please feel free to comment if you love the sequence of events to turn things on. To like to start the Batcave into like hibernation mode. It's like, yeah, do it. 2222, by the way. So it was a little bit, I'll say this at the end of the day, it got replaced because it needed to be replaced. It was a pretty powerful one. It was like 1.5 watts. But even with the DAC, the SMSL Sanskrit that year, it was a little bit of a harsh thing. It stripped away a little bit of the soul I was expecting. Then again, I'm thinking back with my current stage where I'm like, oh my God, Magnius, soul, and a Class A sound. And that was just sort of like, huh, why don't I love things on this? I know it powers it, and I love the actual build, but it never actually gave me the sound I was interested in, which I didn't even know I was interested in the sound now. I've matured so much in 4 years. So now I can just complain about things. Look at my keyboard. It's very nice. Speak of the shit. Here's the Schiit Asguard 2 versus the Lakepeople G109a. The Lakepeople amp was actually fucking solid. That was a solid amplifier. And I think I picked it over the Asgard 2 in this video. It was very easy to do, by the way, when you do a video comparing one to the other, because you could just eliminate all other possibilities in the world. When I used to do the IEM videos, like 5 at a time, it was great because I could just take 5 IEMs, pick my one winner, and then, didn't have to even bring up other IEMs that were out there. Now when I do individual IEM reviews, it's sort of like, well, guess what's on the table? Fucking everything. So comparing against two things is a lot easier than comparing against either itself or nothing. I should try doing some comparison videos again. People seem to like those. 52,000 views. But if I do a comparison video against 2 or 3 units, guess what I'm not going to bring up? Anything that's not on the table. Which is why in my most recent review of the Magnius stack, I had 10, that's right, I'm sorry, not 9. I had 9 other stacks, like actual stacks of different equipment. And I looked at them all and went, oh God, I can't even imagine trying to compare all these right now. So I didn't. So, new Asgard, I don't think I've tried the Asgard 3. Or have I done the Asgard 3? But Lakepeople, I'd like to see what they have in like their higher end section, because that was German stuff. German stuff's great stuff. Germans make great stuff. The on-ear showdown of the HD25, HD562, and the T51i, which was the little Sennheiser. One of these was that one's the Sennheiser, I think. Wait. One of these is the Sennheiser HD25. One of them is a clone of the Sennheiser HD25 by... Who the fuck made the clone? There was a clone one. And then was the Beyerdynamic T51i, which was like the sharp one, which was all metal. And I cannot knock the HD25 sound. I can knock its comfort, because holy shit was it uncomfortable. It's designed for people like cameramen to strap to the tops of their heads and to go running after someone and not have it fall off. So it worked for that short 3-minute stint, and then you gotta fucking take them off. Like they were designed to close out sound and be like direct. I've seen directors use them. That's fine, because if a director on a movie studio needs to quickly listen to something for 60 seconds, it doesn't matter how much it hurts. As long as it doesn't let in external sound and sounds clean and clear, and the levels are all neutral and the bass hits solidly, and that's what they were for. I recommended the Superlux, that's what the HD562s were, because they were literally like a third the price, and I thought nearly as good, not quite, but they serve the exact same purpose. The exact same purpose. And the bears were just sharp, so I sort of ignored them. Just hit the 25-minute mark now. This makes the guessing less fun. The FiiO E18 Kunlun, which was just a portable, was it a DAC amp? It must be a DAC and amp. I'm trying to see how I got it hooked up on the desk. I believe it's a DAC and amp. I don't believe it was just an amp. Again, FiiO portable stuff. FiiO had so much stuff. If I just went through my videos and just listed everything FiiO's ever done, I must have done like 45 FiiO items. And they'll just do these weird DAC amp combos, the cheap ones, well, they're all cheap ones, really. Nothing's like $700. And they all worked as good as they could for the time. FiiO only really got ahead of the curve, like better than everyone else, around the BTR5, which is recent. So like the M15 BTR5, that's FiiO's golden age has begun. We'll see if they can keep that up. All right, I will end soon. Actually, you know what? I'll save the TH900 for the next video. So let's end on the Audeze EL-8's open back. Because Audeze, they tried to make a portable, and they succeeded, but it still weighed like 4 pounds and was not very open sounding. And they were beautiful, but people complained like things used to shatter on them. But the wire was awesome because it was like a flat ribbon that you could plug it in either direction and it would still work. And I thought that was a great innovation. They had wood wrapped around it, like little layers of gold glued together. It was a beautiful headphone. I think I preferred the closed back better because the open back didn't actually sound open back. That's like the Mr. Speaker's problem where he makes an open back and it's like, well, it sounds like a closed back. And you put on the closed back, it's like, well, it sounds like your open back, but it's tuned better. So Audeze came out with that. And I know they had the titanium ones, which I think make it a little bit lighter, but it was such a beast. It could have never been, like, I think they were aiming for like taking it to hotels still. Like, you're obviously not taking your LCD fucking X's to hotels unless you're Joe. And, you know, but those were like, oh, they could sort of fold flat. They folded flat like this and could go in a box. So that was Audeze trying to get into the portable market, but like in a very Audeze way. They never want to commit to like lightweight and actually small until they got to the in-ears, like this eye signs. So yeah, no, this is episode 10 of this. I might just do episode 11 right after it now because I have my cantina of water, which is definitely not ginger liqueur. By the way, this stuff. What you do is, real quick. You buy this, if you can find it, ginger liqueur. You put about 1 inch of that in a glass. And you get a really nice ginger ale, and you pour that on top of it. And you now have alcoholic ginger ale. You're fucking welcome. And it tastes fantastic. Oh, God. I promise you this is not liquor. I just can't drink water. Available in the description. Stop talking and drinking. Available in the description. Patreon and Subscribe Star. You don't get to see these videos early. I just released these public because I should do one a week. I should have been done with my fucking channel by now. But I for some reason I don't make enough. I think I'm gonna make 2 more of these right now today. Release them every week or a week and a half. And check out Patreon and Subscribe Star to see other reviews early and to participate in the yard sales. I will even ship to Europe or the rest of the world for if you pay 33% of the shipping because it's so fucking expensive. None of you will join if you have to pay 50%. That's how bad it's gotten. If you'd like to ask me questions, feel free to join the $10 tier and get into the private behind-the-scenes Telegram chat. If you're seeing this right now, probably really soon, I have implemented, did I leave it open? Please don't be porn. Please don't be porn. Boom, it's not porn. For $5 patrons, I've been very, very, very far behind and lax on answering your questions because, well, I made a video specifically for patrons and subscribers so people to see how bad the messaging system is. And so for a limited time, I will be catching up on all your old questions for the next month. From December 20th through January 20th, there is a $5 like kiddie pool tier. In fact, I'm going to name it kiddie pool tier that has the exact same benefits as the $10 Telegram chat, but it's just for you $5 patrons. You go in there, you could ask me your questions right there. You can answer each other's questions, which is one of the main benefits of the $10 tier is all those people who are in there are very seriously into audio. So whether I answer the question or someone else answers the question, your questions get answered. So a little bit of a taste, a little kiddie pool area of the $5 will be available until January 20th. So if you want to ask me questions for $5 and not 10, now's the time to join my Patreon or Subscribe Star. You'll both have access to it. And you could jump in there, ask me questions. Come January 20th, we burn that place to the ground. And then I'm left with only one chat, which is the patronage chat, which has so many people talking about headphones, it's not even funny. And also, the $10 chat also has the benefit of the swap meet. So people are selling their gear to each other. All the patrons sell patron gear to other patrons. It's like a wonderful cycle of guitar. You want to buy a Gibson guitar? There you go. Oh my God, yeah, someone's selling those. Like if you want to get into the swap meet channel, which might actually be more enticing than the channel where I answer your questions, here's things you could buy in the swap meet channel before I crash Telegram. All these things will be sold eventually. So thank you for stopping by. Can't wait for you to come back in episode 11. We're gonna have to do this exit intro. Is that a Nook? What is that? It's a Nook i3. Oh yeah. So yeah, join the $10 tier if you want to get into this, and the $5 tier for the next month. Who's selling a Rebel amp? Why? Did someone drop you on your? I have 450. It's about the same price. Such a good amp. Yeah, so that's the main, that's it. That's the crux. This is why I like Discord more than I like this is why I like, I'm sorry. That's why I like Telegram more than I like Discord. Because in Discord, you click an image and you can't go to the next image. You would just have to click off of it. But on Telegram, you could just scroll wheel through every image on the channel. Isn't it fan-fucking-tastic? Anyway, thank you for stopping by. Hope to see you on Patreon or Subscribe Star. There's your wallpaper. I've been Zeus Pantera. I'll see you tomorrow for another video.